See children, here barium atomic number 56, and the nearest we can also write electronic configuration, but the easy way is to compare with nearest noble gas element. We know helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. These are the noble gas elements: 2, 10, 18, 36, 54. So the nearest noble gas element to barium is 54 atomic number xenon. That's why it is having more than 2 electrons to xenon. That's why it will loses 2 electrons and become as cation. So valency is, barium valency number is 2. So plus 2 valency. That's why here we will get in the third step Ba plus 2. And coming to the chlorine, we know chlorine atomic number 17. It will gains 1 electron and gets argon configuration. So for this purpose it will gain 1 electron and it will become as anion, negatively charged anion. And here chlorine atomic number chlorine valency number here -1. And coming to the fourth step, here no need to take HCF because 2 and 1, the common factor is 1 only. So I am interchanging the valency numbers like this. So here we will get BaCl2 is the barium chloride formula. Barium chloride formula is BaCl2 here. I think you got this point, children. So likewise we will take next barium chloride reacts with water. So BaCl2 reacts with water, 100 ml water. So here what we will get, this is slightly endothermic. And here also dissociation taking place, Ba plus ions and Cl minus ions. So 2 Cl minus ions will get 2 Cl minus and Ba plus. Here coming to the sodium sulfate, 2 Na plus ions and 1 SO4 minus 2 ion, like that dissociation taking place. Here coming to the barium chloride reacts with 100 ml of water, 2 barium molecules and 2 chlorine molecules. 1 barium ion and 2 chlorine ions will dissociate. Like that separation taking place. So while coming to these two solutions, so in that completely dissolved, ions will be dissociate like this. Ions will be divided like this in that aqueous solution. Aqueous we need to know, children, here aqueous solution means aqueous solution. So completely dissolved solution. That one is called as completely dissolved solution. And coming to the complete explanation, complete definition about these aqueous solutions, here I wrote, children, aqueous is a term used to define the system that involves water. Here water is the solvent. The substance completely dissolves in water is denoted by writing aqueous. So complete dissociation taking place and complete mixture will form, aqueous solution will form, not dissociation, complete dissolved solution. Here water is the solvent. Aqueous solution means dissolving into water. Water is the solvent, complete dissolution. And coming to the precipitate, some substances are not dissolved in water and they are showing their substances. That type of substance is called as here precipitation. Not completely dissolved substance is called precipitate. So here again we are adding Na2SO4 solution. So here breaking down takes place and BaCl2 solution. So these two solutions, dissolved and dissociated solutions. These two are. So here double replacement will taking place. So two Na plus ions and 2 Cl minus ions will form 2 NaCl and barium sulfate separately. This is the white color precipitate. So precipitate, children, we got here, and this is the aqueous solution we will get. Aqueous solution. So I think you got these points. Aqueous solution means completely dissolved in water, and precipitate means which does not dissolved in water. Precipitate. So here precipitate solution and aqueous solution, we got two terms, and exothermic, endothermic I explained, children. An insoluble substance is known as precipitate. So aqueous solution and precipitate is an insoluble solution, insoluble substance is called here precipitate. And aqueous solution I have explained you previous only. About aqueous solutions I have explained you in the previous explanation only. That is this. Aqueous means completely dissolved solution, no substance is there, and indissolved substances are not there, completely dissolved one is aqueous solution, and some substances are insoluble, that is called as an insoluble substance is called as an precipitate. So this is about precipitate and aqueous solution. And here this is barium chloride, this is endothermic, slightly endothermic, and that means heat energy absorbs. And coming to the Na2SO4 dissolved in water and dissociation taking place there, that is exothermic, heat energy will releases. So like that we can observe the mixtures. So from the activity 1 we understood about acids and bases and exothermic and endothermic. From activity 2 we got information about aqueous solution and precipitate. So these are all the activities useful for the different terms, aqueous, precipitate. We got an idea from these two activities. From activity 1 we got idea on exothermic and endothermic, and from activity 2 we got idea on precipitate and aqueous solution. How the double displacement will taking place, and how the new solutions will form from two different solutions. So that is information about the activity 1 and activity 2, children. So while coming to the activity 3, so here take a few zinc granules in a conical flask here, and in this conical flask zinc granules are the solid substances we are taking, and in the diluted HCl we will add to that hydrochloric acid we are adding. So then conical flask will release one gas, hydrogen gas. So how can we conclude that one as hydrogen gas? While we are checking with fire, it will stop. Fire will stop means there is a hydrogen gas. There is a hydrogen gas, and if we touch the flask with our hands, that is somewhat hot. So that's why this reaction is exothermic reaction. We can conclude that here hydrogen will stops fire and oxygen will supports to fire, that we know. So this gas is hydrogen gas, releases from HCl reacts with zinc. So here also we can write zinc granules, Zn plus HCl we are taking. So that's why we will get zinc chloride and hydrogen separately. So here we need to balance equations. So for this purpose, first we can understand. Now just I am roughly writing this chemical equation. This is not exact. This is not balanced. First we got an idea how to write chemical equations, then only we can write chemical equations. After that, how to balance chemical equations we are going to study. With the help of chemical formulas we can write chemical equations. That's why I have explained how to write chemical formula for compound molecules in the previous class. So now let us see chemical equations. I already told you children, left hand side we should write reactants and right hand side we should write products. So like this we can write chemical equations, and right side of the arrow products, left side of the arrow reactants. And reactants and product definition I have already told you. Reactants are the substances or solutions we are taking for chemical reaction as input, and the resultant substances or solutions are products that we are writing from right side of the arrow mark we are writing. So plus sign between them, because here we are adding two solutions or two substances, two chemical elements or compounds we are adding, that's why plus we are using. So on the right hand side also we will get outputs. So writing of the chemical equations we will see now. So from the activity 1 only I am writing now. So calcium oxide formula how to write we can know. So I am writing calcium oxide plus water equation. So for this we can get calcium hydroxide. So like this we can write. So compound formed by the reactions of these two compounds is calcium hydroxide. Like this we can write activity 1 reaction is this one. So chemical equation. See children, now I am going to start with writing chemical equations. A compound is written by giving its chemical formula, which lists the symbols of constituent elements and uses the subscription to indicate the number of atoms of each element, that we have discussed in that criss-cross method children. So element present in the compound we can write with the subscriptions. So like that we can write chemical equation for this calcium oxide plus water gives rise to calcium hydroxide. This one is calcium hydroxide. So like that we can write chemical equation. So first we need to, so that's why first we need to understand how to write calcium oxide compound formula and water compound, water molecule formula. Like that we can conclude and we can write. So next I am taking another example, which one we have done as activity 2. Sodium sulfate reacts with barium chloride. So both I have explained how to write chemical formula for sodium sulfate and barium chloride. So here I am writing directly barium chloride. So sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus barium chloride. These are the two reactants I am taking. So and here double replacement will take place. So gives rise to here Na2 mixes with Cl2. So like that we will get NaCl, 2 NaCl we will get plus BaSO4. Double displacement will take place. BaSO4, barium sulfate. This is precipitate I told, and this is aqueous solution. So like that we will get. Further we can write chemical equations for a reaction like this. And coming to the zinc granules and third activity, this is about third activity, this is first activity, this is second and third activity, zinc and hydrogen chloride. Here the zinc chloride will forms ZnCl2, because here zinc chloride will get, zinc mixes with chlorine, zinc chloride will get. Why I am writing here 2 as subscription? So that we know zinc and chloride This is the first step. So just I am writing the chemical symbols. In the second step, zinc is cation and chlorine is anion, that we know. So see children, here we got, for third activity I told zinc chloride we will get, and for that zinc chloride I am explaining here zinc is having +2 valency because this is the D block element and transition metal, and it always wants to get the valency of 2, become positive cation. So for that purpose, because this is the D block element and the electronic configuration for zinc is like this. So here this is the lowest energy level orbital, so that's why zinc want to leave these 2 electrons and become as positively charged cation. Like copper also like that. I will explain that copper sulfate example also with this crisscross method now. So here ZnCl2, that's why just interchange the valency numbers, then we will get zinc chloride formula like ZnCl2, and hydrogen gas will liberated in this equation, which one is the third activity in our lesson. So this is the information about writing chemical equations roughly children, and we cannot get the balanced equations here. So for that purpose first we need to balance, because here see zinc plus HCl, Zn plus HCl will give rise to ZnCl2. Here we have Cl2, so 2 chlorine atoms we have. So from the law of conservation of proportion, equal proportions and law of conservations of mass, we got a contradiction here. So for that purpose we need to balance this left hand side and right hand side atomic proportions. So from law of conservation of proportions, this is a contradiction, that's why we need to balance. So in the next class we are going to read about balancing chemical equations. So tomorrow we will see those children. Thank you for a nice class with you.